podcast. Today, I am going to talk about spiritual signs that sort of guide you and give you the nudge that it's time for you to transition from the 9 to 5 job into running your own business. As a manifestation teacher and mindfulness coach, I work closely with small businesses and aspiring entrepreneurs. And most of my clients still have a normal job and run their own businesses on the side with intention to fully transition into a full-time business ownership. And often people come to me feeling quite overwhelmed, even anxious at times, because the emotions that they're experiencing during the transition are quite new to them, and also very often they don't know how to deal with them. So today I would like to I sort of felt guided to talk about this specific topic. So the transition, I'm going to read my notes as usual. This helps me to stay organized. So the transition from 9 to 5 into entrepreneurship, it's not just a career shift. It's a soul initiation, okay? Spiritually, this transformation often comes with deep signs and energetic nudges from the universe. And I'm going to sort of mention some of the most common signs, something that I have experienced myself. If this information resonates with you, great. If it doesn't, it's still great. If you've experienced something different than what I am going to talk about, feel free to share your experience in the comment. Okay, so the first thing that I have noticed personally is inner restlessness that just won't go away. You might feel unfulfilled even if your job looks good on paper. At some point, you are going to sort of stop lying to yourself, and start admitting to yourself that even if you have a really good job and you get paid well, something is not quite right. Something is missing. There is like an ache in your soul, like a whisper that is telling you that there is more to life than working 40 hours a week for someone else. So this is the first sign. I used to, when I was at my last job, I was a quantity surveyor and it was a really good job. I worked from home. I got paid well. I actually manifested this job. It was my dream job. But at some point I started to realize that even that it was my dream job, it wasn't good enough. I wanted something more. I wanted to be in control of my own time and money. The next sign that I have personally experienced and also speaking to my students is increased sensitivity to misalignment. So things you used to tolerate at work and conversations you used to be part of, all of a sudden you feel sort of annoyed and you feel like you're switching off of what the conversation is all about. So for example, you going to start realizing that working for someone else is all about internal politics. You are going to start realizing that in the corporate world, managers and directors care more about processes and everything to look good on paper than to care about the well-being of their employees. And when I worked, actually, I've had these conversations with few of my colleagues and nobody was happy with what was going on, but everybody was too afraid to say something. And if someone was brave enough to say something, they usually got into trouble. Also, people are going to what also actually always confused me when I worked for someone else is the pay rise situation. So everybody works really, really hard, hoping that during pay review they will receive a good pay rise. That is not always the case. When you work for a corporation, it's all about profit, and whoever is in the top on the top gets the most profit. Also, the sort of office conversations, even though I haven't worked in offices for a long time, I remember people having a conversation about, a very long conversation about what they were doing over the weekend, or long conversations about the weather or about sports or things like this. You are suddenly going to feel out of alignment when you're part of a conversation like this, because you would want to talk about something bigger than the weather and what you were doing over the weekend. And at some point, you are going to automatically start switching off and not actually listening to, as I call it, 3D conversation. Okay. Also, if you were sort of friends with some of your colleagues for a long time, when you start to transition, you might feel that you don't want to be friends with these people anymore. That's because you're not energetically aligned with some of your colleagues anymore. And this is just part of the spiritual awakening. As you start evolving in your spiritual journey, you are going to let go of a lot of people who are part of the past, and are going to attract people who align with you, with your values more, with your spiritual goals and the values of the business you want to start. Okay. Another thing, what you might feel is strong pull towards purpose. You might feel the need to actually make a difference, to go out there and help people, because when you work for someone else, you work for money. I'm still waiting to hear someone who got up one day and decided to go and get a job because they haven't got anything better to do. People genuinely go to work because they need money. When you run a business, when you start a business, small business owners want to make a difference, want to genuinely help people, and then money comes as a bonus, as a reward for the help they give to people. This is called good karma. Okay. And you might also experience that you're dreaming about running your own business, of talking to clients or receiving emails or working on your marketing and so on and so on. Also, another sign, synchronicities and signs, for example, angelic numbers. So if you start seeing repetitive numbers like 111, 444, 222, or 1221, and so on and so on, maybe I need to do a video about angelic numbers. That's a good idea. That's also, this is the universe sending you signs, okay? And the universe is not going to stop sending you signs until you start acknowledging them, okay? Because if you don't pay attention to the signs and you're ignoring what the universe is trying to tell you, all of a sudden the universe is going to pull the rug underneath your feet and is going to force you to take positive actions, okay? Another one, a very big one, is emotional waves. So from fear, you move to excitement, and from excitement to fear very quickly. This is a sign of expanding. So when we are about to experience something new, your intuition will tell you that it's your time is coming to let go of the old and embrace the new. So when this happens, it's normal, your ego, to sort of try and protect you by denying that a change is coming. It's perfectly normal. What I say to my students and what I teach in the Manifestation Academy for Entrepreneurs is to learn to recognize when the ego is taking over, to step away from it and focus on their heart center. It's perfectly normal to jump from one emotion to another, to jump from negative to positive and positive to negative emotions. This is part of the transition. I'm going to talk about the Manifestation Academy for Entrepreneurs at the end of this video, but just trust you and trust the process, because everything happens for a reason. Just ask yourself, would you work for someone else for the rest of your life, 40, 50 hours a week, or would you embrace your true gifts and receive emotional and financial fulfillment and be in control of your own time and money? Also, another sign, downloads, sudden ideas, sudden clarity, sudden creativity. I recently spoke to a friend of mine. She posted a video on Facebook talking about her business, and she said that all of a sudden she felt this need to sort of put herself out there in a video. This is so basically out of nowhere you are going to experience the need to go on social media and talk about what you do. This is your intuition guiding you towards your sole purpose, which is running your own business. So one of the things I teach at the Manifestation Academy for Entrepreneurs is the different layers of manifesting. Okay, you might want to run a business really, really badly, but if you don't take positive actions, nothing is going to happen. You need to meet the universe halfway, and by feeling the need to go on social media, for example, and talk about your business ideas, this is how you meet the universe halfway, by taking positive actions. Also, you might feel that you're no longer interested in the traditional success. You no longer want to be promoted at work. You're not interested in pay rises. You're not interested in, I forgot the word now, appraisals. You just want to sort of focus on what's important to you, which is running your own business. So years ago, when I joined the corporate world, I've always been very ambitious and I really wanted to succeed. I really wanted to be promoted into a manager or director. And one day I realized that it just wasn't worth it. I worked so hard. I was never rich. Always managers and directors got credit for my hard work. And so I decided at some point to put all my energy into building my own business. And this comes with the spiritual awakening. You will no longer want to give your power away to someone else. You will choose you and focus all your energy on what you want to build and the life you want to build for yourself and for your loved ones. And if you start feeling any of those, if you experience any of these signs, you're not losing your mind. You might feel like you're losing your mind, but you're not. You're just being called. The universe is trying to push you into the right direction, because we have been programmed to go to school, get a degree, go and get a job, and work for someone else for many years until retirement, if you can afford to retire. When you work for someone else, at least in this country, you have no control over your time and money. If you're not happy with how things are at work, and you decide to speak to someone about it from high management, that this might not end up well for you. So there is a lot of control when you are an employee. Yeah, the transition feels scary, but it's not scary, it's sacred. Um, and you just have to sort of surrender, practice the art of surrender. That's another thing that I teach at the Manifestation Academy for Wealthpreneurs. And there are, I offer a lot of not a lot but a few online courses and coaching programs. I also have e-guides and e-books available on my website. I have dedicated my business to help people to transition from the 9 to 5 life into running their own businesses with ease and confidence without feeling anxious and overwhelmed. My approach to coaching is very spiritual. During the first few sessions, we talk about the spiritual side of things, the energetic side of things, and then towards the end, we focus on the practical side of things like sales and marketing. Because sales and marketing are very important for your business, but as I have said before, even if you are the best salesperson and marketing person in the world, if you're not in the right mindset, you are not going to make any money. I am going to include all of my links in the description below. If you're not sure which one of my courses and coaching programs are suitable for you, you can book a free consultation with me, and I'm happy to discuss where you are and what you want to achieve on your entrepreneurial journey. And if you feel a bit overwhelmed in times because new things are happening in your life and you feel that you don't want to do the same thing over and over again, just don't get scared, because fear is a negative energy, and when you're in a negative mindset, you are going to attract more negative. Help is available. You don't have to do this alone. I quit my job and I run my business full time now, and quitting my job was the best career move I've ever made. I'm in control of my own time and money. I can work anywhere I want. I don't have any annoying managers who are trying to control me. And I can't recommend it enough, but it's your decision as to when you are going to quit your job and fully focused on your business. It took me many years to gain the courage to quit my job. Quitting your job is not an easy move. It takes a lot of inner work. Unfortunately, a lot of people are not prepared to do the work. But at the same time, over the last few months, more and more people are starting to realize that there is more to life than getting up at silly o'clock in the morning and go to work for someone else who doesn't appreciate them. Yeah, that's it from me for today. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you soon. Bye.